The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual guests. If you're a sensitive snowflake that may get easily offended, then turn this off immediately. If you want to hear the real truth about the gun culture, then stick around. This is the Armed Citizen Podcast. What is going on, my Go Squad? Welcome to the Armed Citizen Podcast Live. This is episode number 241. Today's date is Tuesday, May 10th, 2022. We'd like to welcome everybody to the dark side, the massacre that is the beautiful train wreck that this could turn into. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live as always on YouTube and over on Facebook. If you're out there in the live chat, welcome. Make sure you say something out there because we don't know that you're out there unless you do. If you have any questions, I want to go ahead and preface this. Not only is this going to leave the rails, I don't think this train is ever going to touch the rails tonight. So we're going to have fun. I'm not going to lie. I've been busy at work. I'm hot. I'm tired. I didn't really want to come up with a serious topic. So I said, screw it, let's go. We're gonna have fun with a free for all. So get those questions out there ready to go. We can go down whatever rabbit hole you want to. So if you're out there, like I said, tag myself or anyone on the panel. The questions, like I said, there's really no ground rules. Just be courteous out there. Don't be an idiot. My mods will kick your ass out if you get rowdy. That being said, let's have fun tonight. So if you're out there, make sure you say hello. If you're new to the channel, new to the show, or haven't been here in a while, like Steven out there, go ahead and say hello. Tell us where you're from. We cannot promise to make you smarter. We really just hope not to make you any dumber, but it is what it is. If you want to call or text into the show, yes, you can call in live or text into the show. Utilize a Ghost Tactical Hotline presented by our good friends Rod and Shelly Gates over at Aegis Gun Care. That number is scrolling. It is 530-364-4678. If you're a veteran, really anybody, but especially if you're a veteran and you're in that hole, you're in the darkness and you're looking for light, hell, you're questioning whether there still is light out there, call me, text me, email me 24/7. I can't give you any medical advice, but I sure as hell could probably listen to you and maybe be a pretty good conversation. If you are looking for someone that can get you close to medical advice and medical attention, remember two things. One, you are not alone in this fight. You have a lot of brothers and sisters out here that are willing to help. And two, the world is a much better place with you in it. So please, please utilize the Veteran Crisis Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. Once again, 1-800-273-8255, the Veteran Crisis Hotline. Veterans, press the number 1. As always, we are spotlighting the United States Marine Corps. If you have any questions on what it takes to earn the title of United States Marine, see the website marines.com. And as always, we're a proud member of the Self-Defense Radio Network. Please check out all the great podcasts, the great two-way pro-gun podcasts out there on selfdefenseradio.net. Now, let me get this off of my ugly mug and welcome in our shotgun rider, our quasi co-host at this point. Episode number 241. I bet you, Clover, you've probably been on 238 of them, maybe, or 235 at least. Probably less than 10 that you've missed.
I miss every now and then. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, but it hasn't been much. Like I said, I bet you've missed 10 maybe in the last, well, hell, next month will be our 5-year anniversary on YouTube. So that's crazy to think about.
Yeah, and you number them. Like I quit even numbering mine.
I don't know why. I just do. Sure.
We've talked about it on Nerd Chats before. It's really pointless to do that except for your own tracking.
And I guess maybe that's why it is. I don't know. I have no idea why I do it. I just do.
And you even kept your numbers even after you changed the name, right?
I did. Yeah.
I've always started over.
Yeah. And I very well could have been. Let's real quick. We got some new people and some people I haven't seen in a while.
I see that.
The usuals are out there. MacMan039 Reloading. I don't know if that's a new one or they changed their name or something, but I haven't remember seeing that name very often, if ever. Welcome to the dark side. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Jacob S has been MIA for a while. He says, "How y'all doing? Good to see you, Jacob." It's a young whippersnapper that's gotten into guns the last couple of years. Really good head and shoulders. Really nice to see you around again. Steven out there is his first show I've caught in quite a while, but we hope not to disappoint. Chances are he's probably already turned it off. Let's just be honest.
Right. Ghost does not offer refunds. So
I do not offer refunds, and this is going to be time that you'll never, ever get back, ever. Jason Yui says, Semper Fi, Semper Fidelis. Good Lord, my phone is going ballistic. Let me get rid of that. And let's see here. Kevin Borowski, howdy everyone. Kevin here from Florida. Hello, Kevin. How you doing? Hope we get to Florida.
Hopefully the next constitutional carry state. Just saying.
It looks that way.
Get it done, Kevin. Come on, man. Come on.
Here's the thing. I would love to maybe get Chase or TJ when they get in here. We'll ask them this. Because I heard that DeSantis was going to call Congress back into session specifically for constitutional carry. That seems kind of odd to me.
It does.
Surely there's going to be something else he's going to be doing besides. It'd be great if he is. I don't see that,
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe we'll see here. PNW Woods is out there. Jason says, I just got a new computer and microphone and GoPro, so my studio is almost set up. Awesome. Can't wait. And Steven says, nope, still here. God bless you, man. God bless you. And Kevin says, hopefully constitutional carry. Yep. So Kevin's in Florida. Maybe he's heard. If you can put out there in the chat, is DeSantis going to bring them back specifically for constitutional carry, or has he got other agendas besides constitutional? Because like I said, it's great if he does. I just think that's an odd thing to bring an emergency session. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. All right. Since we're gonna go with this here in a second. Clover, as always, is our shotgun rider, and for the last 6 months or so, we've been doing a shotgun of the week.
Right.
What's this week's shotgun of the week, bud?
So I had a conversation yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think it was, with our good friend Rod over at Aegis Gun Care.
Yeah.
And his dad left him a Winchester Model 101. He wanted to know a little more info about it, so I consulted a few books I had and some other things, and we narrowed down and nailed down the year and the model and some other different things. But let's go with that, since that's kind of fresh on my brain. And a great shotgun, been around since.
Don't know what the hell that is. What's the Model 101?
So Winchester Model 1 is an over under.
Okay.
And I think production started, I want to say, in 1963, and it's been around pretty much ever since.
Okay, so it's still in production, or some variant of it. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Now, I don't know that he will mind me telling some of his business and saying that they distinguish between the early models and the late models, and he definitely has an early model. We dated his in 1965, and they just started making them in 63.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So he definitely had an older model. Very nice engravings and inlays. It's more or less the deluxe field model is what he had. But they eventually made them in multiple chamberings. They even had multi-barrel sets. A lot of cool things. They're pretty high end. You're going to break off nowadays, $1,200-$1,500 probably for one. So, and that's not uncommon for a nice over under.
Okay. Kevin says he just got his CCW. Well, that's nice. Awesome. I love hearing that. MacMan says, moved to the U.S. 13 years ago from Wales. Oh. Been on YouTube for about a year, running my own channel for about 6 months. Congratulations. I promise you it gets better. Well, depends on who you ask, but that 6 month to the year mark is when you kind of hit a wall sometimes. And that's when a lot of people give up because they're not seeing the return on investment as quickly as they thought. Sometimes the grind gets in there. I'm going to tell you, we've all been there. We've all done that. Push through, keep being consistent, and just have fun with it. Because I promise you, it gets easier and it gets better. But yeah, about that 6 month is, I don't know, Clover, you probably had about the same time that I did, but that 6 month wall, everything kind of goes good there for a while. Then you hit that wall and you're like, whoa, am I doing something wrong or what's going on? It just happens, man. Go ahead.
So yeah, there's a couple of, I don't know. I don't want to say red flags. That gives the wrong connotation, but there's some things.
Oh shit, Chase is here. Good Lord. Look at that Gucci. Look at that Gucci thing.
Nice.
Wow.
I love that one. That's awesome. But no, with Macman out there, I mean, by his avatar and his name, I'm guessing it's a reloading channel. Understand, brother, that you're going to have it rough with a reloading channel. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that with policy and everything, YouTube is not super friendly with that. You got to be really careful in the way that you do things, especially for monetization. And that's one of the big things. So understand that going in, that it is going to be a grind. It is going to be a fight, and reach out to me if you get into any tough spots with that.
Yeah,
and then on top of that, he's in UK.
On the show with something, come on and let me know. Shoot me an email. My email's to me in the description. Yeah. We'll get you on. Guys, if you guys are out there and you want to support a new channel, go check out MacMan039 Reloading. I'll try to put his link in here in the chat here before too long.
I'll go grab it.
If one of my mods out there can go to his channel and put his link out in the chat, that would be wonderful. I appreciate it. Especially if you're into reloading, go support this guy and let him know that we're here to support our own. So yeah, for sure. Good luck. And like I said, in the same way Clover said, if you need any help, there's a bunch of us that are here that are willing to help in any way we can. So when it comes to reloading stuff, I can't help you because I don't reload, but I can help you maybe maneuver through some of the stuff. Through a lot of the YouTube stuff, Clover's a great person to be able to talk through that. We can, like I said, there's a lot of people that have been doing this for a little while and had some marginal success. So yeah, reach out. We love helping new people. And there's a lot of other people that are willing to help that as well. Kevin says, have not heard on what DeSantis's plan is. Calaveras, the tactical pickle out there in California, says, CCW here, new sheriff next month. We'll have to see whether the new sheriff will continue. And see, I think that's such a shitty thing when I wish to a certain extent that ours could be issued by our sheriff. Obviously, everyone knows that I'm good for my sheriff, but it would take no time at all. I got to wait 6 weeks when I renew and all that. But I wouldn't want the sheriff to have sole power to decide if there's going to be CCW issued in his county. That's crazy for me, but it is what it is. What's up, Chase? How you doing, homie?
Good, man. How about you?
Oh, I am living the nightmare, man. Just living the nightmare.
Well, you had a busy day, I saw.
A little bit. Yeah, I want to bring this question from Jacob out there. I'm going to Chase and a Clover. This is not my wheelhouse, if everyone knows, but if you had $600 and were wanting to get a pump or a semi-auto shotgun, what could you get or recommend for clay and duck hunting? I wonder, Chase, if you've got something you could recommend.
Well, I mean, in my wheelhouse, obviously we have the Akar Churchill, like the 612 or the 620, depending on you want 12 or 20 gauge. Both great shotguns, definitely less than $600.
Yeah.
Outside of that,
you can pick up a couple great shotguns for under
absolutely.
$600.
Oh, yeah. You could almost get a semi-auto and a pump for that.
Yeah, really, honestly, that are great. By the way.
Outside of that, find an old 870.
Yep. I would say this, and I love the 870. Don't get me wrong. I'm partial to a Mossberg 500 or 590. Mm-hmm. Either one. A Mossberg 500, 590, Remington 870, that you can't go wrong with those. At that point, you're talking about what kind of grip or stock or attachments and all of that. But yeah, a Mossberg 500, 590, an 870, can't go wrong with either one of those staples, in my opinion. I'm sure Clover's got some interesting stuff that you've probably seen for 600.
I do. There's a lot of questions. Even before that one, there was some questions out there, just so you know.
Yeah, there was one earlier, 870 versus a 590. Both great. I suggest I prefer a 590. That being said, I wouldn't turn down an 870 ever.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, totally. And I think that's a lot of people's preference. I've always been real partial to Mossberg, so
Yep.
And not so much with Remington. And so, but I'm not going to discount and say the 870 is garbage. It's been around for a long time for a reason.
It's been around. It's been proven, and it's still a really good shotgun.
Yeah. I'll say hunting gun. I'll take the Remy. Home defense tack gun. I'm taking a 590 all day.
And I could agree 100% with that. Not that I hunt, but yeah, I've got the tactical pistol grip Mossberg. Absolutely. I could go with that.
To Jacob's question about a sub $600 pump or semi-auto, now he does have the caveat for clay and duck hunting.
Okay? Sure.
So he's talking about some shooting sports there. I would say for true pairs, for things like that, the semi-auto is going to be king in that realm for you. And not just because Chase is here, but because in that price range, it's an amazing shotgun. And Chase can tell us, does the MC312 fall in that range at all?
As a matter of fact, we do have the Goose gun, which is a 30-inch barrel. So that's clays are handled, any waterfowls handled. I mean, obviously regular dove field load, all that works there too. Yeah. But that's a 3.5-inch Magnum gun. It's literally a Benelli Super Black Eagle.
Basically Benelli action. Yeah. One of the best actions on a shotgun you'll find.
But it's a third of the price.
Yep.
And it's optics ready.
And you told me the other day, we were talking about extending the mag tubes, that's a Remington pattern mag tube, right?
Correct. So that's an 870 pattern mag tube. So any 870 extension threads right on there. So the guys that want to take
any 870 accessories probably are going to roll with that too, correct?
So most of the as far as the internal accessories or whatever are going to be Benelli based.
Right. But
we intentionally did the mag threads as an 870 because there's so many options. There's not a lot of the Benelli world, and the ones that are out there are expensive.
Yeah. Real quick before we move on, people that might not know who Chase is with EAA Corp, Gerson, there's all of them. I put the link out there, especially to Jacob, EAAcorp.com. They've got great guns. Gerson, everyone knows Gerson. The shotgun, that calls it a car shotgun. Is I saying that right? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a car.
I call it the Churchill, but
in America, everybody knows it as a Churchill.
Yeah. But yeah, go check those out and all that. Yeah, a lot of great ones out there. And like I said, some of these you can get a semi and a pump. You could get a dedicated clay and a dedicated, hunting for $600 if you're looking at the right place. Yep. Just saying. Kevin out there says, what are your thoughts on 30 super carry versus 9mm? So I'm gonna give you my thoughts first. We will run through the room. Everyone that knows me knows I'm a huge 9mm guy. That is my caliber of preference for a lot of different reasons. Not just because I think it is a great caliber, but there's a lot that goes into that. As far as 30 super carry, time will tell. I have a feeling that the 30 super carry is going to be the handgun caliber that was the 224 Valkyrie. Everyone talked about it, and I think it's going to fade. Personally, not because of the way the Valkyrie did, because the Valkyrie faded away because they never could get a twist rate right. It's just still not depending on what grain, it's just not one of those consistent calibers. I think 30 super carry, it will fade because it fits a spot between 380 and 9. But let's be honest. Did you create that space between the 380 and 9, or was there a market for wanting something between 380 and I don't know the answer to that. The only way that I think the 30 super carry comes on is if multiple big manufacturers start producing handguns in 30 super carry, maybe it catches on. For me personally, I don't plan on ever using one. I just don't see it happening. For me, it does not fill a void anything that I needed. So that's just me. Chase Clover, thoughts on the 30 super carry versus 9?
Me personally,
yeah,
I'm gonna stick 9mm versus 30 super carry. Okay. I'm not anti a new caliber at all, but I'm like you, like the 224 Valkyrie analogy. It's going to be the 357 SIG of carry guns.
There you go.
I love 357 SIG, but it just
I do
really
too.
never caught on. And I think 30 Super Carry is going to fall in that demographic. Well, good idea, but not a lot of support behind it.
Yeah.
The problem is you're fighting against so many 9mm. Ammunition availability has been a problem. They launched the caliber in the middle of all this madness.
Yeah.
You know, I understand the thinking behind it and being able to get round count and small frames. I totally understand the round idea. 9mm already fits so much of that niche. You've got so many micro carry 9mm now.
Yep.
High cap micro carries.
And ballistically, I don't think a 30 Super Carry is going to give you a ballistic advantage enough over the 380 or the 9 to make a huge difference. So if it brought a ballistic advantage, I could sit there and say, well, yeah, maybe it's a valid PCW caliber. But from what I've seen, the testing and all that I have seen, there is not a huge ballistic advantage.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
I mean, Clover might have a different opinion, but I just don't see it being a mainstream catching on cartridge.
Yeah.
I don't think ballistics are everything. So I'll start with that.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, but I can sit there and say maybe if ballistics were like hugely in the favor of this, that would be the reason, but it's not. You know?
So I have shot it more than once.
Yeah.
I'm also a big 380 guy.
Yes,
I like
you
it.
are.
I like it. I like 30 Super Carry.
I do too. Yeah.
I part of me, if it doesn't make it, again, we've got 380, we've got 9mm. It doesn't necessarily break my heart, right? But I would love to see it make it. But here's the caveat that I've said since they even introduced it. If Glock doesn't make a 30 Super Carry, it is over.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
Glock, I could see Glock, SIG, CZ. If one of those three jump on board, maybe. Now, if Glock jumps on board, it's definitely going to catch on.
I think Glock would have to come on first.
Yeah, Glock and SIG have to come on for that round to stay alive.
Absolutely. It can't be a Smith & Wesson only caliber. Can't do it.
No.
Just like it'll be like the 40 Smith & Wesson. Had Glock not done that, the 40, we've never heard of the 40 Smith & Wesson. So, yeah.
That was just for agents that couldn't handle a 10mm.
Yeah. Now, Calaveras says, I need a revolver. I do need a revolver. I just can't figure out which one I want to get yet.
Need to get that when I drop the video on today. That's affordable. It's in your price range. You can shoot it in your house. Why not?
How about that?
And it's all tactical. Do you see that?
It is tactical.
Yeah.
Now, Kevin says a Panzer AR-12 shotgun. I don't know if he's asking about it or it's good or I don't know.
I thought he was recommending that.
Oh, he is recommending. He said it's under $500.
And the problem with that is that fits neither the sporting clays nor the duck hunting niche. I mean,
I've got an AR-12 over here, and you're right. It doesn't fit either one of those.
So as far as being cool, a cool range toy and all that,
absolutely,
100%, man.
Yeah, that's definitely in the tactical category.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Well, you can take it to a sporting clay range and get some looks.
You could attempt to do it, but you're not going to get serious with it.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually, jokingly went out to the guys that shoot trap and skeet all the time every week at the club, and I was like, "Hey guys, you mind if I shoot?" And I'm carrying the AR-12. I'm just like, they're looking at me like, "You tool."
We shot 5-stand with 1301s and M4s, so.
Oh, there you go.
We all got looks until we started hitting stuff.
Right. The M4 would be fun.
Dude, it was a blast. There's nothing to that thing.
That would be fun. Yeah, it's interesting. Buck out there says, still haven't seen any Super Carry ammo on the shelves yet. Neither have I.
Me either.
I haven't been looking for it, but I still haven't seen any, Guys, holy...
I haven't seen him in a while.
Look at this tool.
What up, Tim?
Tim Knight. What's up? Guns are icky. Yes, they are. That's why I got rid of all of mine.
Yeah, they're scary. I don't like guns.
Yeah. Timmy, call me sometimes, or I'll call you, but call me when you got time. We need to catch up. It's been about 6 months, brother.
I've been trying to talk with him forever. I'll send him a text, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm busy."
Yeah, we talked maybe like late fall, early winter last year. It was about 6 months ago. We talked for a while. It was great to catch up, but yeah, man, good to see you, buddy. Kevin says he plans on sticking with the 9mm. Thanks for discussing. And I'm not trying to talk. I don't think any of us are trying to talk you out of the super carry.
No.
But we're going to tell you what our opinions are. My opinion is excuse me, it's not going to replace the 9mm for me. For some people,
my overall opinion is all of the above. I like the answer always.
Sure.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Rich says he's carrying a 365 mostly. He's carrying a shield right now. My daughter took my shield. So
I'm carrying a 365 right now.
I was carrying the APX. We're at APX right now.
There's a shield in the truck.
I've got several different things.
Bunch of weaklings. You don't want to know what I was carrying today.
Well, there's a 686 in the glove box though, just for Clover.
That'll work.
Quit kissing his ass.
Still not quite what I was carrying.
Combat Plus.
I was carrying a certain 6-inch 10mm today.
He was going to say certain 6 inches, like he doesn't know what 6 inches is.
If he's compensating, it's all right.
I was compensating, and it did the job too. It made me feel really good.
Wes's son just bought a 365 XL. Let's see here. This is Shield 9 Plus.
Vince Dad chimed in with the PPQ SC, and I don't have the SC, but I can stand behind all day the PPQ for sure.
Yeah, and I love the SC.
Yeah, Walter got that gun right.
Oh, they got. And I get a lot of people, and you guys, I'm sure, have people ask you about the PDP. The PDP is a great gun, but for me,
why?
It's not any much better for me than a PPQ.
Yeah.
So why would I go and spend the money when I've got one of the best guns made in the PPQ? So, it is what it is. Tim says, okay, dudes, phone calls will happen. Ooh, guy, I like it. Carrying a bodyguard in a pocket. That was one of the very first guns. The shield and the bodyguard were the first guns that I carried consistently. And I do like a 380 as well. That bodyguard, if you get used to it, I mean, understand it's a very micro pocket gun. It's not a 22, so it's going to be some kick. It's going to be not the easiest thing to shoot, and it's got a 17.5-pound trigger. Not really, but it feels like a 17.5-pound trigger. But once you get used to it, I love the bodyguard. I really, really love the bodyguard. Great gun, sure. Let's see here. Jacob says, I own a regular 380 Llama as my only and first handgun. I don't really see why there was a need to make a Super 30, even if it was made as an enhancement. Honestly, I mean, there's two reasons. I'm going to let Chase and Clover chime into this, but my opinion is there's two reasons for new calibers. One, actually, there's three. One legitimate one. One, there is a need to fill a void in whatever realm, whether it's home defense, CCW, long range shooting, whatever it is, there is a need for maybe a fill-in caliber. That's a legitimate reason. That doesn't happen very often, but it's a legitimate reason. Usually what you see in those are wildcat calibers. Instead of a whole new one, it's we're going to take this one and we're going to change it a little bit to get what we need out of it. The two other ones are one, which is I think what has happened with Smith & Wesson, and they did it 30 years ago in the 80s with the 40 Smith. They wanted to create a caliber which now creates a new gun, which now, if it holds on and catches on, they've got the market on that caliber / gun. That's my opinion. I don't know why. I don't know why it was, and I might not ever know. Maybe I'd like to get a hold of Smith & Wesson, maybe at least maybe at SHOT Show or something. Ask them, hey, what was the actual reasoning? I don't know if I'll get an answer, but we'll see. What do you guys think? Not just in the 30 Super Carry, but in general. Are there specific reasons why you think these calibers come out? Is it truly to enhance the shooting sports or shooting all general, or is it to corner the market on a new product?
So where my mind goes with this,
yeah, Yeah.
Whenever we start having this debate or whatever,
Yeah.
are these people that are even contemplating, arguing, whatever? And the debate's fun and all. I get it.
Sure. Yeah.
Have they been firearm owners for like 3 days? What's the deal? Because people have been wildcatting, coming out with new cartridges, all of that. Did you know that fairly recently Winchester come out with the 6.8 Western?
Right.
Did you even know that? It's like new cartridges and new things are coming out all the freaking time. And it's like most of them don't catch on. They don't.
No.
They catch on for a very small niche, whether it's
true. And
three gun shooting, long range shooting, or cowboy shooting, or whatever.
Yeah.
A very, very small niche.
And most of those folks reload, right? So there doesn't have to be a bunch on the shelf. Once that person's got the brass, they're good to go.
Yep.
Yeah. I really think it was more of a marketing ploy than anything as far as the 30 super carry.
Yeah, I do too. It's to me, it's this version of the 40 Smith. Let's create something that maybe we can get some traction on. And right now, we're the only game in town. Maybe that boosts some sales. I don't know.
Well, sometimes you're just looking for a reason to collaborate. You know what I mean? Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's no shortage of shield platforms they've had laying around, so it made sense to do something to try to spark some interest in that market. Because let's be honest, polymer guns in general, the market's pretty sluggish on all of them.
Yeah, it is interesting that the metal guns are the heavy metal guns, are and revolvers, especially revolvers, are having a little renaissance right now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I can tell you from obvious direct experience that revolvers right now, there is not enough manufacturing capability in the world to satisfy the U.S. revolver demand right now.
Yep.
They just can't do it.
It's crazy. Now, Defense Dads are talking about the PQ subcompact, which 2 thumbs up. He says that or the P938 in summer winners of VP9. Now, I want to say this is the VP9 is a gun that I will own one day. I'm just not going to overpay for it right now, which is everything's still stupid when it comes to some of those prices. But the VP9, every time I have shot it, the VP9 to me, ergonomically, how it feels, it is the best feeling gun I've ever shot. So, big VP9, but I'm not going to overspend for it. I'm like Clover. If I see a good deal, sure, but I'm not going to jump down that hole just to have one. I'll wait if I have to. I got a lot of problems, but handguns aren't one of them right now. So, Kevin says he put 200 rounds through the new Banshee. Fun, no recoil. Yeah, I mean, those Banshees or any 9mm PCCs, they're just so fun. They are really fun. I'm a huge fan of them. I've got my truck gun is, I don't care if YouTube sees this or not, is Foxtrot Mike 9mm PCC, 5.5-inch barrel. Really, really just love shooting this a lot. So, yeah, the Banshee's great. There's a bunch of them out there that have, in the last few years, man, that 9mm PCC has really just taken off, and it's great. Let's see here. Rod says, what's a 380? Let's see here. Guy says, my home defense gun is a Stoker STR9 with the light mounted fallback defense gun is his tactical pump 12 gauge. I don't mind either one of those. Defense Dad says he's already got 8 calibers to keep up with. I'm not too interested in chasing more. I know that I get. He says he only paid $4.99 for his VP9 before the cough. Even before the cough, I never saw one for $4.99 ever. If it was $4.99, man, I would have jumped on that. But yeah, anyways. Now let's go down this. Well, let's first, before we go down rabbit holes, let's go in and do our polls. You guys know that every Thursday, Saturday, and Monday at 10 o'clock a.m. on our YouTube community tab, we put out polls out there that we like to have some fun with them, and we ask some fun questions. We ask some serious ones, but we just want to get, having a little fun with it. So our first one this week came out last Thursday, and it's got 1.5 thousand votes. Of this list, where would you most like to visit in your life? Mount Rushmore, Yellowstone, the Grand Canyon, Yosemite, or Niagara Falls. Clover, of those, is there one that catches your interest?
Probably Yellowstone.
Yeah.
I'm not interested. What were the choices? It was Grand Canyon, been there.
Grand
Niagara
Canyon.
Falls. I don't really
Niagara
want to
Falls.
go to New York.
Neither do I. Yosemite.
Yosemite.
And Mount Rushmore. Besides Yellowstone, yeah.
So I haven't been to Rushmore or Yellowstone. So yeah, probably Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Probably Yellowstone.
Been to almost except for Niagara, and I have
my luck. I'll be there when the super volcano blows. Right.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I'll go visit because I would be fairly safe here in Texas, but yeah, that's when it would go.
Yeah, I've been through all of them except for Niagara, and I literally have zero desire to go to Niagara. I just
don't want to go to New York.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Yes. I do love Yellowstone. No. Yosemite's beautiful, but Yellowstone is probably one of the coolest places on earth. It is just awesome. Really is beautiful. We used to go whitewater rafting down there, up there every summer and camp out up there. And between Jackson Hole and Yellowstone, that whole area, the Grand Tetons and Jackson Hole are amazing also. But man, it's just a beautiful, beautiful place. If you ever, go to all of them, obviously go to all of them. But if I had to choose one that I could go back all the time, it'd be Yellowstone. And no, it's not because of the damn TV show. So I love it. Chase, what about you? Do you have one that really just kind of you love or you want to go to?
For me, it'd be Yellowstone too.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be Yellowstone. I mean, I've only ever been through it. I never had a chance to stop and like really spend a lot of time in it. I want to.
Sure.
That whole area of the country is just gorgeous. Niagara Falls, whatever. It's a waterfall. I've seen tons of them, and it's in New York.
That's the big. I mean, that if you're from the South or live in the South, most people don't want to go to New York. I'm just saying that's just the way it is. I have no desire to go to New York.
He says you can go to the Canadian side and they have better beer there. So I also hear that Canadians have Tim Horton donuts, and I'm all about some donuts. So
yeah,
I don't know about the beer,
get that Tim Hortons,
but I'm there for the Tim Hortons, Yeah, without a doubt.
We can start the show now. Snob is here.
Nice.
Defense Dead says Bowling Green, Kentucky. I just want to see the Corvette Museum. There you go. Nice. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
The one that's not on your poll that should be is Denali.
I didn't think about that.
Like that's my bucket list.
Yeah. Alaska, man. During the summertime, hell yeah, I'm in. On summertime, I'm in.
Oh yeah.
Not so much during the wintertime. I have some friends that have been to Alaska, and they said that they have that summer solstice thing up there where it never gets dark for like months at a time. And like I have friends of mine that teed off at like 2 a.m. And so it was the craziest thing in the world that you're teeing off at 2 o'clock in the morning. And be really weird, but let's see here. Rich White, he's got to be different. He's a different dude. Says, I'd rather take a couple weeks and go to the various Civil War, Revolutionary War sites on the East Coast. I've been a few already. I tell you what, I went when I was a kid. And so I remember bits of it, but I guarantee you that I don't appreciate it. Was going to Gettysburg when I was a kid. I think I'd really love to go to Gettysburg. And some of those old sites, Civil War, Revolutionary War sites would be kind of cool. I think I'd like to go to Gettysburg as far as any war sites. I think I'd go to Gettysburg, and I'd probably like to go to Boston for different reasons that other people go to Boston. Apparently, they've got it either cobblestone or something. There's something about it all through the city of Boston where Paul Revere's route was. They've got it paved or cobblestone. It's different than the other roads. So you can literally go down where Paul Revere's route was. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, as far as war sites, what do you guys, if there's an American war site I'm going to go with Gettysburg. Is there something that you would like to think of? Oh, did I lose you guys?
American, no.
Like an American, like Civil or Revolutionary War site, or I mean, even Alamo would count because we were fighting Mexico. But I lived in San Antonio. I mean, I've been to Alamo.
I've been to Alamo, and
the Alamo is my favorite place. Probably
I've been to several.
I love the Alamo. Yeah.
I've been to several Civil War sites.
Yeah.
But I would say probably getting to retrace some of the Revolutionary War battles would be cool, like standing like where cowpens happened and that kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah. Let's see here. Chris from the 740 says, good evening. Defense Dad said, we visited Chicago, wasn't a fan. I missed the living. I don't mind. I like Chicago. Chicago's a fun town. I've been there many times just for different reasons and had fun, but it's not, to me, Chicago is not a destination trip for me. I would say, hey, let's go to Chicago for vacation. You know, I don't see that for me.
Nah, not at all.
It's just me. Weston said, speaking of golf, PGA is next week at Southern Hills. Yes, it is. I've played Southern Hills over in Tulsa. So, Tulsa's going to be hosting the greatest golfers in the world next week. So, it's only a few hours from me. Buddy of mine is the director of golf at Southern Hills. So, I saw him on the Golf Channel this morning, actually. I was like, holy shit, that's his name. I'm not going to say his name live, but actually. Anyway, so, the poll, like I said, 1.5 thousand votes. Yellowstone at 43%, no surprise. Grand Canyon at 25%. Niagara Falls coming in at third at 13%. Yosemite at 11%, and Rushmore coming in dead ass last with 8%. A little bit of a surprise with some of those. Not a surprise that Yellowstone was the overwhelming winner. Little surprised that a couple of others. I was surprised that Niagara was higher than Mount Rushmore and Yosemite, but I guess maybe waterfalls is a thing. I don't know. The next one we've got came out Saturday. Got to get our food chat in here. Of these, once again, I get blasted in the comments because I get it, guys. But of these, what is the best pizza chain? Pizza Hut, Sparrow, Little Caesars, Domino's, Papa John's. Chase, what do you think of those? Do you have a favorite?
Of the chains? Personally, Papa John's.
Okay. I've never had Papa John's because we don't have them here where I live. So,
what communist area do you live in?
I live in rural Arkansas, bro. What the hell?
You got Dollar Generals and Little Caesars.
I tell you what, our pizza that we eat here, and it's so good. And if you live in the South, you know them. Have you ever heard of Casey's? They're like gas stations with their, they have stores, but they've got phenomenal pizza. That's my favorite pizza around here is Casey's.
Hunt Brothers was my thing too.
My favorite of this list is Sparrow. I'm not a big Chicago style pizza. I know that there's some people out there that love it, and I'm not a fan. I like New York style pizza, and I remember going to the mall as a kid and eating Sparrow and really have liked Sparrow pizza forever.
Yeah, Sbarro is awesome, but like it's a dying institution now. Like there's hardly any left.
Well, there's very few malls that have food courts. There's very few malls left anymore.
That's true.
And that's where I've never seen it anywhere else besides in malls. And maybe up north or wherever they've got restaurants. I've never seen a Sbarro restaurant. I've only seen them in food courts and malls.
Yeah,
every time I see one, I got to go get me a slice. I love it.
I did it when I moved to Florida. I was like, holy crap, there's a functioning Sbarro. I went straight there and got it.
Yep. Yeah. I never knew there were restaurants.
I didn't
because I'd never seen one before. So, yeah. Now, Buck lives about 40 minutes from me. He says, we have a Papa John's and we're a few minutes from where he's from. Well, that's like an hour for me. So I like pizza, but not that much. I'll go, now if I happen to be in Cabot, then I might stop by and have some. But yeah, not an hour. Clove, of those, which pizza tickles your fancy?
You'll have to give them to me again. It's been too long.
No, it's just you don't listen. It's all good. I get it. We're not important enough for you to pay attention on. So Pizza Hut, Sbarro, or however you say. I call it Sbarro, but Little Caesars, Domino's, and Papa John's.
So favorite, probably Papa John's.
Okay.
But one that I eat 99.99999% of the time is going to be Pizza Hut. Unfortunately,
because closer to your house, probably, right?
Nothing else like what you're
So
talking
we
about.
Have Domino's. We have a Domino's and a Pizza Hut in town. I'll get Domino's every now and at work, but I don't get the pizza from Domino's. They have a great Philly cheesesteak sandwich and a great chicken Parmesan sandwich. So I'll get sandwiches from Domino's. They're actually pretty good. Yeah. Cannot stand Pizza Hut pizza. So we have Casey's that we'll eat at, and we also have some mom and pop pizza stores that are really, really good. But I'm not a fan of Domino's or Pizza Hut. That's just
the good thing about Pizza Hut, I know all the Pizza Huts I think I've ever eaten at. Well, most of the Pizza Huts I've ever eaten at, I've known at least somebody that works there, or the manager, or whatever. Sure. And they run a pretty good store. Pizza Hut does have.
Well, I had no problem before. I just don't like the taste of the pizza. I just don't
that's what I'm saying. They have problems from one to the next. The consistency is absolutely not there. You got to be careful. But it's like you said. I mean, when you've got to drive an hour and a half, are you going to eat freaking pizza, or are you going to eat something else?
And they're not delivering to you at that point,
right? It's like I'm going to go eat something else. I'm not eating. I'm not driving that far to eat pizza. Ain't happening.
That's right. Sparrow went out of business down there for Defense Dad. Casey's. I had a lot of love for Casey's. Casey's got some really good. Their breakfast stuff's pretty good. They make really good sub sandwiches. Really, I'm a fan of Casey's. When Casey's opened up here, I was a happy man. They usually have good prices for gas, and it's just a really good store, for sure. Let's go with the numbers right now. Papa John's getting a lot of love in first place with 32%. I've heard nothing but good things about Papa John's. I just have never had it, to my knowledge. So there you go. Pizza Hut in second place with 26%. Domino's in 23%. Little Caesars at 11%, and Sbarro with 8%. And I wonder it's because maybe Sbarro wasn't everywhere. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Sbarro, oh man, they're all in all the Dallas malls.
And I can't believe anybody thinks Little Caesars is good. That's like Ken's Pizza and Little Caesars, and I can think of several other like buffet pizza chain places.
Mr. Gaddy's.
As far as being cheap, great places to go, right? But
we used to go to a place. I don't know if they're just in Dallas or not. But you guys ever heard of CC's Pizza?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
CC's was pretty good for a little buffet. They had one right by our house. We always went there, and I always enjoyed it for a cheap buffet.
Yeah.
Now that said, I'm not going to go to CC's just to go get pizza. It's got to have the buffet there,
Yeah, you're looking for the value, right? For the all you eat
in that situation,
$5 or whatever it was.
Yeah, we would go there for lunch during high school, and we had off campus lunch, so we had like 45 minutes or whatever it was for lunch, and it was right around the corner. So we went there a couple times a week because it was like back then it was like a $5 all you can eat buffet, and they had pasta and pizza and all sorts of stuff.
Pizza, salad, breadstick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
The cheese bread was like legit back then.
Cheese bread was really good. Ozzy's out there. He says, "Boo!" I'll say, "Bark at the moon." Defense Dad says you need to try Casey's peanut butter bites for dessert. I haven't tried the peanut butter bites. I might have to do that. Weston says, and it may be in Tulsa thing, but he says Mazzio's.
I forgot Mazzio's. Yeah, I forgot about Mazzio's.
Have we eaten at Mazzio's before in Tulsa, or did you eat it somewhere else? I never heard of Mazzio's.
No, we haven't. Okay. There is a Mazzio's. It's a little ways away from me. It's not the one that I went to back in the day, but that used to be one of our hangouts was Mazio's, and it
Okay,
was
see, I've
great.
never heard of them. They must not have had them in Plano, I guess.
It was a great. They had sandwiches and all kinds of stuff, and they had a killer arcade. So we would go to the picture show, and then like right across the parking lot was the Mazio's. So we'd go there when that let out. We'd go hang out, play arcade games, and eat pizza until curfew, till parents picked us up or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally forgot about Mazio's.
Taco Bueno. Our hangout was Taco Bueno because back then we would hang. They had a huge parking lot. So you could fit a bunch of people there. Plus, back then they were 25-cent tacos. So, 25-cent tacos, 50-cent burritos, and $1 taco burgers. So you could eat for about $3. You could fill your ass up in $3 back in the day at Taco Bueno.
Yeah.
Good question. So I'm gonna bring this question up for you guys. The great thing about this show is we can go any direction, but it's a good question. Here's a question for everyone. If the U.S. went full constitutional carry with reciprocity in every state, and you could afford to move, would you? And if so, where to? Clover, Chase, which one of you guys want to tackle this first? Or I could. It doesn't matter.
My answer is no. I'm out. I think Chase said he would move to a state that had better cell phone service and internet. I think is what he said.
Yeah, dude, our internet's sucking right now. I don't know what's up. I would.
You sound good now. Just a second ago you didn't, but you sound fine now. Would you move from Florida?
Absolutely. I'm staying in Florida.
Yep.
Staying in Florida, especially when we're around governor.
Yeah. I'm sure Clover ain't moving anywhere. He's staying in Texas. I'm pretty happy in Arkansas. I will say that there's a part of me that says that we'll end up back in Texas eventually in our lifetime. Never know, but I'm not disliking Arkansas. So, and once again, we're talking about this. If it's full constitutional carry across the board in every state in the country, at that point, why would you move? Unless you just don't like other gun laws or you don't like whatever taxes or whatever. To me, constitutional carry has never been, for me, a reason to move or not. We have constitutional carry here in Arkansas, but I still have a CCW permit, and I always will.
Last year, and I've been here my entire life.
Yeah, and I'm assuming you're still going to get your permit, even though you don't need it now. But
I've already renewed. I had to renew last year.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like right after it went into effect September 1st, and in November I had to renew. So.
Yeah.
I'm keeping in mind, obviously, for any state you go to, you need it.
More importantly, and I can't speak for other states. I think it is in Texas as well, and I can't speak for Florida. But here in Arkansas, when you do a 4473, a transfer at a gun shop, you don't have to go through the phone call to the FBI and the NICS.
NICS bypass.
It's a NICS bypass. Your CCW counts as your background check. So
it doesn't work in Florida. That's the one free state thing we don't have. Like you go, they still do a background check. Like it still runs through the Florida system, but your permit allows you not to have to wait.
Yeah. Now, if you were to ask me if you could move to anywhere in the country, if the entire there we
Pat.
go. I bet you this is Pat.
It's Pat.
Armed Citizen Podcast. Who you got here?
Well, I'll give you two guesses, but you're only going to need one.
There it is. What's up, Pat? How you doing, man?
Oh, not too bad. Just actually in the tractor tonight doing a little bit of planting ahead of a storm that's supposed to be here tomorrow. So
there you go.
I was listening to the podcast. Just had the cell phone hanging up on besides my many monitors that I am staring at right now.
I understand. Sure.
So, press a button and just let the tractor do its thing, I guess. So.
It's you're no longer in the bunker. You're not patting a bunker. You're patting the tractor at this point, right?
Yeah, I'm patting the field. I'm
patting
the field right now, actually.
There you go. I like it. I like it.
But yeah, I thought I'd weigh in on the whole reciprocity and if you would move or not.
Now, to preface, Pat's in Nebraska, so people might not know where he is. He's in Nebraska, so go ahead.
What's that?
I was letting everybody know where you're from, so they have a little background of where you are now versus where you might move to. So go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I'd have to be like just about like everybody else. I don't know, grew up in Nebraska. I've lived in a couple other different states, but I guess it's home. And, you know, besides the property taxes kind of sucking for farmers, yeah, I wouldn't move. It's too nice, especially where I live at. So I got a nice river and rolling hills and stuff around me, and it's just absolutely beautiful. So I couldn't leave.
No, I hear you. For a lot of us, we're very lucky where we are. For some of us, we're obviously not, and there's reasons why we're there that are well outside the realm of gun laws. But for life and all of that, you're in a place. So yeah, for some people, this is a conversation that's a serious one. For me, I'm happy where I am right now.
If you've been married for years, right?
Yep.
Have lived your life, you know, I just think about moving all my crap.
Yeah. Oh,
like I got 5 acres and multiple buildings full of crap, and the house is full of crap, and and it's like, oh my God, you know what I mean? It's like, it would be
moving in general sucks.
Yeah.
The only way I would move is if I sold the place and we just left everything here.
Yeah.
And just left everything except for like our personal stuff that we want to take. We're leaving everything. You deal with it, and then I'll go buy new shit when I get to wherever I am. That's the only way I'm moving again.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. If it can't fit in a Suburban or a Blazer or something that has some decent size to it where I could just take a couple things, forget it. I'm just light a match, burn the damn place down, and start all over again.
Yeah. No. There you go.
I ain't moving all that stuff.
No, I understand.
So, but anyway, just had to do my usual chime in. So
love having you call in, man. Always welcome to call in anytime. We appreciate you coming on and appreciate you always listening, man. Yeah, appreciate you very much.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on tonight, and everybody have a good one. Good show tonight.
Bud. Thanks, bud. All right.
All right. Bye.
Now, Ozzy is saying he's planning on moving to Southwest Missouri when he retires.
I like it.
That's
he'll only be a few hours from me.
That's gonna put him close to Tulsa too, correct?
He'll be a couple hours from Tulsa, probably 2 hours, 2.5 hours at the most of Tulsa. That's gonna put him about 3 to 3.5 hours from me. That'd be great. Yeah. Now, before Pat had called, I was saying, you know, if the question was worded to where all the laws are totalitarian across the whole country, we all are living under the same laws, and you could just tell me where would you go pick to live? I'm moving to Colorado or Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Telluride, Colorado, or Jackson Hole, Wyoming are my 2 favorite places in America. Probably not going to go live in Telluride. I would love to live in Wyoming. I love Jackson Hole. I would live in Wyoming in a heartbeat, but I'd be there single because my wife would not go. It's way too cold for her in the wintertime, so she wouldn't do it. If she does, she would never leave the house for about 6 months a year.
Absolutely, all things equal.
All things equal. Absolutely.
And I'm talking all things equal.
All
the price of fuel, the price of everything, right? Food.
Property taxes, income taxes, everything's the same. You can literally, it was just one big place, and you can say, where are you going? I'm going to the Colorado or the Wyoming territories.
Your climate and your view is basically the only difference, right?
That's the only thing.
Not basically, that's it. I would probably lean Alaska.
Ooh, Alaska. Yeah, see, Southern Alaska, like Anchorage and all of that. Yeah,
because that gets away. That gets away. You can't hardly get any further away.
You're definitely away.
But Alaska stuff's more expensive in Alaska because you're so far away. So all things created equal.
But you're also talking about, now you might want to get away from family, But it would be difficult to see family up in Alaska as much as you could other
Well, that
places.
was true, but it'd be just as difficult for you to visit family in, let's say, Texas. If I went to Wyoming, I mean, I might as well be in Alaska. I mean, you know what I mean? Once you get so far away, what's the difference? It's a plane ride.
It's a flight time. Yeah, it's a flight time.
I mean?
Yeah, you're right. No, I get it. Yeah, Alaska could be cool.
I mean, I'm 500 to 600 miles from most of my family now, so that's just a normal thing for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Where would you go if you had one place, all things equal, Chase? All things equal. Would you stay in Florida somewhere or?
Probably. I mean, don't be wrong. I love out west. I do. It's gorgeous out west. I love it. Like you're talking about Wyoming, Montana. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. But it's entirely too far away from saltwater for me.
Okay.
And I mean, I enjoy fishing, honestly, probably more than I enjoy guns.
You don't think there's fish in Wyoming?
Could switch over to streams.
I've done, I mean, trust me, I've gone fishing in a lot of the streams, all stuff out west, and I enjoy it. You know, the trout fishing's awesome out there, but I like chasing saltwater fish. It's just a different animal. You like going out? When people they go deep sea fishing. And I've been, but I don't remember it. I was a little hammered drunk, which probably wasn't a good idea because I got sick big time. But when they say deep sea fishing, typically how far offshore does that count? It depends on what you're fishing for. Like, so where I'm from originally, like Alabama, like, you know, Gulf Coast, Panhandle, Florida.
Yeah.
You know, the Gulf's a desert, man. I mean, like go south Texas off in the Gulf. It's the same thing. To get to the big fish, you know, we were running 90 miles plus.
90?
You know, it's different.
Okay.
Yo, dude. I mean, people have like artificial like fish tracking devices, artificial reefs, all that stuff's been set up that are closer. But to really get to where there's any kind of bottom structure, like that, you have to go far in the Gulf. It's different over here. I'm middle part on the land side now, so it takes us not long at all, and you just start seeing blue water stuff you didn't see for hours on end fishing out of the Gulf. It's a totally different animal.
Yeah.
Which I'm not mad at, but the seasons are totally different. Like, you know,
sure.
We get 3 days a year for red snapper if we're lucky.
Yeah.
You know, rumor right now, we may not even have red snapper this year on the Atlantic side.
You know, it's one of those, and it's going to sound corny and all that. One of my favorite TV shows, I don't even know if it's still on because we got rid of our cable satellite a while back, but was Wicked Tuna. And I used to love Wicked Tuna, man, because I just like watching them fight. And some of those fights would go on for an hour. I used to love Wicked Tuna, and they were anywhere from 10 miles to 150 miles offshore. And you hear 150 miles offshore. You know, that's crazy to think about, but some of that's where you have to go, you know?
Oh, dude, it's true. I go like where you're at. If you've never done it, go down to the Gulf side. Take a tuna trip out to the rigs. It's literally Jurassic Park out there. You will never forget it.
Are you talking about going down to what, like Orange Beach or to like?
Oh yeah, like anywhere, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Gulf Coast, like even the Texas side, you can run out like the Mississippi Canyon, Green Canyon, whatever out that way. I'm talking yellowfin tuna like you've never seen it. It is amazing out there.
You never hear of the Gulf being a big place for yellowfin tuna.
The runs are long. That's the problem.
Okay,
you're running, you know, like they're saying, 150 miles offshore to the rigs.
Yeah.
But it is big marlin, big tuna, big grouper. It is a blast. But it's work. I wouldn't
mind doing like swordfish. That'd be kind of fun to.
Oh yeah, there's big swords out there.
Y'all are talking about that. When he said red snapper, it popped in my head. That movie UHF, The Wheel of Fish.
Oh,
he goes, "Ooh, red snapper, very tasty."
Red snapper.
Red snapper.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean,
Kevin says, guys, I gotta go. Pleasure talking with you, fellas. Stay safe, you too, bro. Come back anytime. The water's always warm.
Because we pee in it. But
maybe because I piss in it, but it's still warm.
Right. Shh, nobody needs to know.
Oh, my bad.
We all do it.
Yeah. But we put food coloring in the water, so everyone's going to know.
My
eventually.
grandbaby, she'll tell everybody on the beach while she's doing it. She's like,
right.
I'm going to the bathroom. And like, shut up.
That's why the Gulf stays so warm.
God.
That's right. So, when I was we lived out in San Diego and I was stationed out there, and it's beautiful. The area is beautiful, ugly ass beaches and cold ass water. Now the Pacific over in Japan, when I was stationed there, it's like Hawaii. So in Hawaii and Japan, the Pacific's warm and it's awesome. But it's Southern California, that Pacific is cold year round. So we didn't go. We lived literally a couple of miles from the ocean, and went to the ocean a couple times, maybe ever.
You messed up there.
I've never been deep sea fishing. The only time we was ever supposed to go, my brother was working for a company, and for their company outing or something, he got to invite. He got to bring somebody along. His wife was pregnant at the time, couldn't go, and the only reason I remember that is because the deep sea fishing trip got canceled, and the company, they put us all up in a really nice hotel, took us all out to eat at a really nice restaurant, and then broke the news that, it was canceled because of the waves or there was something going on. But that the tab was open at the hotel, in the bar, whatever, do whatever we want. That was the last time I got drunk, because that was the most miserable weekend ever.
So,
so what I hear is a fishing trip coming on.
Right. So I've only been once, and I was 19. I had to go to Camp Lejeune for a 6 weeks school, a specific schooling. So when I went to school, it was just outside of Virginia Beach is where my normal school was. I had to go down to Camp Lejeune in North Carolina for about 6 weeks for another school real quick before I left, went overseas. Someone got a bright idea that there were about 10 of us that were going to go deep sea fishing. And this is back in my drinking days. So if I wasn't at work, I was probably drunk. And I was one of those where if I start drinking, I don't stop. Like, it just goes until whatever happens. There was no such thing as casual drinking with me. So obviously we go to a club and we just are just obliterated. We leave the club, the bar, whatever it was, literally had to be at the dock at like 5 o'clock in the morning, because there was going to be way out in North Carolina, off the coast. We had to be at the dock at 5 o'clock in the morning. I think we left the bar at like 4, like literally 3 o'clock, and maybe got something to eat or something. I don't remember. And so we get to the dock, and half of us are just hammered. And that was one of the worst experiences of my life. Being deep sea fishing, if you're not used to it, is bad enough, because you're probably going to get sick. But going deep sea fishing when you're not used to it, drunk as hell, was a miserable experience. So, good Lord. Probably not going to do that again. If I do, I definitely won't go there drunk. So that's my deep sea fishing story. Apparently everybody else had a good time. Me and another guy did not. I try to sleep most of the time, but yeah. Anyways. And we haven't even gotten to our third one. Let's go to our third poll question before we go sidetracked on another one. This was yesterday. 1.6 thousand votes already in a day. So that's pretty crazy. 1.6 thousand votes in one day. Of these, if you could only have one of them, which pistol would you choose? Your choices. And don't take any offense to this, Chase. It is what it is. Of these, the choices are Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0, a Glock 19, HK VP9, an FN 509, or a SIG P226. Let's start with Clover on this one. If you could only choose one of those, I know what it's not going to be, and it's going to be not going to be the M&P. So
So I refuse to answer this because America, I can have whatever I want.
Wow, that's a nice way of dodging the answer.
That list can only have one, and I think I answered it this way. I would go Glock because if you could only have one, I'm thinking the aftermarket potential.
Sure.
To keep things from being boring. There's a ton of aftermarket Glock stuff, so you could change a bunch of things around if you wanted to, and what have you. So
and
probably,
they run.
So. Well, that's just true too. Yeah. So
yeah. Now Tim says the Ghost and Clover Fishing Fest 2023.
No, sir.
Might be a thing. Probably won't be a fishing fest, but we could do some kind of a fest.
Oh, y'all should come down and go murder fish. We can do this.
Can you shoot a fish in the face? Because if you can, I'm there.
I mean, when you're offshore, you do whatever you want to do.
Nice. Okay,
who asked that question? Hey, can you shoot a fish in the face? Go ask. I'm not even going to bring up his name, but go ask who. They'll tell you.
Fish break.
Fish
break.
He doesn't shoot them in the face. He shoots them through the face.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
What happens offshore stays offshore.
Hey, I don't.
Yeah.
All right, Chase. If you had to choose one of those, you could only have one. Which one would you choose?
Shield 2.0 is definitely out. As much as I like the legacy SIG platforms, I like the VP9. I like the F509. But if it's like Clover said, basically, if it's only one and it's the only thing you've got to rely on, it's pretty hard to argue with a 19 because everybody makes stuff for it. It's always going to be available.
Hey, but here's the thing.
Anything but a Glock.
Glock magazines are cheap.
So it's not on the list.
I know.
I get you.
They're everywhere.
It's not on the list, right? But if you chose a Gerson, you wouldn't have to limit yourself to just one. I'm just saying. Think about it.
That's true. But
okay. A lot of 19 love.
Of the list.
Huh?
I said of that list, probably a 19 though.
Yeah. That's what I would go to. I love the VP9. I love the 509. The 226 is really the only SIG that I do like. I'm not a big SIG guy. As much as I love the Shield, I'm not a big fan of the 2.0. So yeah, 19. It was easy for me, and it was an easy choice for the audience. The 19 won it with 47% of the vote. The 226 got second place with 21%. The M&P 2.0 comes in third with 14%. And the VP9 and the 509 come in tied for last at 9%. A little surprised at the 2.0 getting 14% of the love. That's interesting.
Name and recognition.
I get it. I get it. I definitely get it. Let's see here. I'm going through, make sure I'm not missing anything.
Probably being Smith & Wesson versus, European. A little bit of America, too.
A little bit of America, probably. Sure.
Yeah. You'd be amazed at how many people from like my retail history had no clue FN, HK. Most of them up until the last few years had no clue who SIG was. But everybody knew who Glock and Smith & Wesson were. It was all advertising.
FN and HK have respectable civilian followings. They are both known for their military weapons. So I can see that. Who was the other one? Oh, SIG.
SIG.
I would say outside of 226, yeah, I would say that when the 320 came out is when people on a massive scale started noticing SIG because they won the government contract with the 320. So sure, I could see that. I got a lot of hate. A lot of people wanting me to put the CZ75 in there. Couldn't do it. Couldn't bring myself to do it. A lot of love for the CZ75. I'm not a 75 guy. I would have put the Beretta 92 in there before I put the 75. That's just me, though.
I would have understood the Beretta over CZ2 just for the sheer numbers made, recognition. Mm-hmm. I mean, I like the CZ platform. There's nothing. CZ, Tanfolio, all the copies of it, they're fantastic guns. It's just, again, it's a niche market.
It is. And if you're my age, which, you know, I'm 47, I don't mind saying my age. If you're around my age or grew up in my era, the 80s and the 90s, and you watched any movie, action movie in the 80s, you saw a Beretta 92. I mean, like, almost every single gun action movie in the 80s had a 92. So I think people might not know what it's called, but if you put up a picture of a 92 and a picture of a 75 and say which one looks familiar, I guarantee people would pick the 92 because they saw it so much growing up. They may not know of what it was. You see, that's a Beretta 92. I've seen a Beretta 92 everywhere.
Not just in the 80s. You look at action.
No, but it was really the Lethal Weapon shit really was about the 92, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I
Lethal
think
Weapon,
it was because of
Die Hard.
I think, you know, the Glock was around then. Smith & Wessons were around then. Mm-hmm. I think it had to do with the profile of the 92. I really do. There's something about the barrel that comes out the end of the slide just a little bit. There's something about that exposed slide. You know, there's something about being a ninja being able to. There's something about a ninja being able to yank the slide off and hit you with it. You know, too, with the Beretta. There's that aspect, but it's just it's got a really distinct profile that a lot of other handguns don't have. You know.
Yep, I agree. One of the coolest movie scenes that had a gun in it that I've ever seen is, I'm not sure if it was a second or third Lethal Weapon. It was the one with Jet Li, but Jet Li in one failed movement completely dismantled the 92 in his fight scene with Mel Gibson. It was really, really cool. But yeah, I remember thinking, oh, that's pretty awesome. How do you do that? You know, obviously it's in Hollywood and all that, but that was cool. But yeah, the 92, I didn't know it was a 92 until I went to the Marine Corps and shot the M9. I was like, hey, that's the Lethal Weapon gun, you know?
So this gets into a question, okay?
Sure.
Maybe Chase can answer this.
Sure.
So the Gerson Regard.
By the way, before you go any further, Chase, I need you to find me. I don't care if it's used. Find me one of the white Regards, and I want it. That is a badass gun.
Cerakote, man.
I want to. I want a Stormtrooper for sure.
Yeah, that's a badass gun. Anyways, go ahead, Glover.
So the Gerson Regard, copy of the Beretta 92.
Yep.
The takedown latch is canted just a little bit, where the 92 is perpendicular, whatever you want to parallel, whatever you want to call it, parallel to the slide, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So was that a change made so that it made it harder for ninjas to yank the slide off and hit you with it?
I know guys respond. I'm still going to ask them verbatim. So the tactical ninja, like,
it's a tactical.
Was this a reason why this? Yeah, was this specifically designed to deter,
to make it Jet Li proof,
ninjas from just taking the slide off? Yeah.
Just
well, I mean, you ever watch like some of the.
I don't know that people even notice that have the Gersons or have even noticed that that difference is there, because I didn't key in on it at first.
Yeah.
But it is
slightly,
like
just ever so slightly angled, but I've never asked them why.
Yeah, it's not at like 45 degrees. It's at like a 90 now, and I don't know, it'd be like a 100 degree or something that's got a little bit of an angle to it, which is weird.
Yeah.
When I index my thumb on my support hand, I don't hit it like I do a Beretta.
Could be, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
But I got man hands though, so
I do not.
I have little girl hands. That's what it is. I deal with it. It's not my choice. I was born this way. It is what it is. Yeah, we were talking with Clover, and I mean, I can't remember the last time I shot my 92. I haven't even brought it out. Probably it's sitting over here, and it's probably been 3-4 years. And I love the gun. I've got so many other ones now but I need to get it out. And I think Clover and I might be able to do a little thing with the regard and the 92. It'd be kind of maybe an interesting little video. Rich White says that was Lethal Weapon 4 that Jet Li was in. Okay. I mean, at that point, I can't remember which one. Which one was it? The same one as the South African chick? Because that girl was smoking hot. The blonde, the secretary. Oh my God. I remember she came around at the perfect time in my life as a teenager. She was smoking hot. The South African secretary. I'm not sure which one that one was, but my God, she was gorgeous. I haven't thought about her in a long time. Yeah, anyways. John McClane fanboy. So yeah, love the Die Hard stuff. Don't believe it's a Christmas movie. I'm waiting for hate coming in.
I can feel it coming.
Oh yeah.
I say it just pisses off all the Christmas lovers.
Oh, I do too. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love the argument. It's hilarious. People get more pissed off about Die Hard being a Christmas movie as they do with actual real life shit, you know?
Yeah.
People are more than welcome to be wrong. That's all I got to say about
it. That's good.
I do have a Nakatomi Plaza Memorial shirt, though, and I wear it like every Christmas Eve, and people look at me like I'm crazy.
I did a video, this is probably 4 or 5 years ago, for Christmas, and it was absolute clickbait. 37 dead in LA building attack, blah, 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 blah. And it was about Dart. And what I did is I went through and I listed every name that died, like in memoriam. But I went on to like some website on Google and I said, name of all of the characters that died in Die Hard. And they gave all like 30 something that died. So I did in memoriam and had like Nakatomi Plaza in the background and had all of these names. It was like policeman or guy on street number 1 or whatever. And I just put, it was hilarious that people were like, this is clickbait. No shit. Have a sense of humor, have a sense of humor. Yeah, I like fucking with people because they take that shit seriously. Remember Nakatomi? Absolutely. Yeah.
I did that with July 14th when the prison plane crash landed on the Vegas Strip. And and YouTube demonetized it. YouTube demonetized it. They were like, "Oh, you can't talk about a tragedy." I'm like, "Oh my God,
you're like,
really?
Oh my God, it's a fucking movie."
I trolled YouTube. That's awesome.
It's like Nick Cage survived. Calm down.
Yeah. Nick Cage survived. Yeah.
And him and Sean Connery assaulted The Rock right after. It's cool.
Right afterwards, yeah. Yeah, they sure did. And then the weird guy that was the in chains, he went to the moon not too long after that with Armageddon and had a meltdown on the get off the nuclear warhead. Greatest line of that movie.
riding it like a
he's riding like a horse. Get off the nuclear warhead. It's the best line of the whole movie. Yeah. I can't remember that guy's name. But
I don't know.
I like the first time. I love him. That was the first movie I remember seeing him in was Con Air. And yeah, he's been in a ton of stuff.
I like the one where he's like something to the effect of who brings a gun to space?
Yeah.
Pretty good one.
Yeah, great. Good movie. Yeah. We don't want to go down the movie hole because we could be on for those 17 hours.
Late, but yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. All right. Well, if anyone out there wants a topic or a question answered, we can do that. We're going to go over for about 5 more minutes. While they're doing more questions, I want to give Chase some time. to talk about whatever, including obviously EAA with Gerson and a car and everything that you guys are offering. Anything that you want to, I'll put the link out there to EAA's website, but anything that you want to bring up and talk about with EAA right now?
I mean, we covered most of it last week. We were having our awesome Fud Fest without the Fud and Chief with us. He missed all.
I just want to know:
OB Fud Kenobi was not there?
Is a
the fourth
gold,
was not with him?
Is a gold-plated 1911 10mm in the cards? That's all I want to know.
Well, it's in his profile picture for sure.
That's a 92.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a regard. There might be a
interesting. Tim Knight says Alan West for NRA Executive Vice President or not.
Heard that today, actually.
That I did. I
know about that today. Yeah,
it's interesting.
Let's pray and hope, and maybe.
Maybe
at this point, it doesn't matter who it is, and I mean, Tim obviously knows a little more than we do, I'm sure. But at this point, I would take anybody. I mean, there's just
anybody. Yeah. Now, this is the problem I'm having. It's Chase and I were talking on the phone earlier, and I'm still pissed off the NRA for putting this on Memorial Day weekend. But Chase and I were talking about it earlier. I do believe that one of the reasons why it's on Memorial Day weekend is they don't want a lot of people coming in to vote,
Yeah, they don't. So. I mean, at this point, Alan would be a fantastic choice, I think.
Keep in mind the members don't vote for that. That's the
but they vote for the people who do.
That's true.
Appoint that.
And they do raise a lot of cane and all of that. But the what am I thinking? Board of directors, whatever.
Yeah, it's the board.
The one that votes for it. And interestingly enough,
Tim, out there, is there still like 70-something board members, or they cut that number down?
No, it is. It's still 70-something. Okay. But here's the weird thing I was going to say, and Tim can verify this, but this is what I've always heard for the last, I don't know how many years, especially since 2019 in Indy when everything really started to blow up. The vast majority of the board doesn't even vote. Like, you'll get
they don't even show up half the time.
You get like 30 or 40 that vote for Wayne. You get a handful that'll vote for whoever else it is, and then the rest of them don't even vote. And you're like, why in the crap are they even on the board if they're not going to vote? I mean,
that's because I think some of them are
they don't want to vote for
pressure
Wayne.
Yeah,
they don't want to vote for Wayne because they don't want to get the backlash. But then they don't want to vote against Wayne
because they get the backlash.
Yeah, they're riding a freaking fence. That's what it is.
It's like a freaking congressional president vote. Like, you get shot for doing that.
It's BS.
Now, for all of you that don't know that, Tim is a former NRA board member who resigned several years ago when all hell broke loose. Got a lot of great insight. He said 76 on the board. I say no to West, and yet the board is the only people voting for this. There you go.
I look forward to the phone call now because that's interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk. I'll have to call him tomorrow.
I would say anybody is better. I mean, there's got to be a change.
That's me. I mean, him versus literally anybody else.
Yeah. I've heard nothing but good things about Alan West. So don't know him personally, never met him, never really, been around, but I've heard nothing but good things. So I'd be interested to see why he says no. Maybe because I don't know this. I'm not stipulating this is the case, guys. So maybe West is a LaPierre puppet and maybe I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that.
I don't know. So
I know that
we're getting LaPierre out, but really, are you getting LaPierre out if it's someone that's? I don't know.
West has been a pretty big political player here in Texas for quite some time. So I mean, I've got a lot of, I don't know what you would call it, not experience, but I've seen a lot of the things going on with him here in Texas. Now, how that relates to the Second Amendment directly and specifically heading up the NRA. I don't know.
He says, so we can chat then soon. I'm all in. I am all in. I thought that West was running for something. Was he not running for Congress or Senate or something?
He ran for governor and
governor. Be by Abbott. Okay.
Yeah, he got pummeled.
I knew he was running for something. I remember him running for something. I was like, maybe I thought was me. Am I missing something there? Okay.
Not just a little. He got pummeled. So.
Oh, well, I mean, Abbott's pretty popular. Yeah. Do you think that he'll run for something else later down the line?
Depends on if he wins the NRA thing or not, I would think. If he does that, he's not going to. But
this is true. You got a lot more money in that than there is.
I would think so. Dude has a lot of political aspiration. I think.
Yeah.
So
well, and that would be a good stepping stone to be the EVP of Executive Vice President NRA. That wouldn't be a bad thing to have on your resume to go run for Senator Congress. Just saying.
Maybe. Depends on what state, but yeah.
I would imagine in Texas it would not be a bad thing to have on the resume.
No, it wouldn't at that point. No.
Yeah. Yeah. Rumor has it, and I don't think I'm not allowed to say this on there because I think if you live in Arkansas and have connections to that, which I do, luckily, sounds like our governor, Asa Hutchinson, his term limits are up. Our next governor will probably in a landslide be Sarah Huckabee Sanders, but I'll always call her Sarah Huckabee. Anyways, I've heard from, I'll just say this, I've heard from reliable sources that Asa's thinking about making a presidential run. Now, love Asa. Very good guy. Been around him a lot. He'll get absolutely destroyed. But this very well could be doing to set up the next play, whether it's a lobby or board members of something, all of that. But yeah, when I heard that, I was like, man, that might not be a smart move.
There's people talking
I'm sure he's playing chess, 3D chess about something,
There's people talking about Abbott making a run.
I think Abbott could do something, man. He's so popular. I can see him as a senator.
I do it in a wheelchair, though. I don't know how that.
But they already know he's in a wheelchair, and they love him in Texas.
Isn't Bernie in a wheelchair most of the time?
I think so, yeah. But Bernie's also he's in a wheelchair for a different reason.
132 years old.
Yeah, he's usually in his mittens, just minding his own business.
Oh God.
I forgot about that meme, but that was some funny ass shit.
Was epic.
That was some great.
And that helped him far more than it hurt him.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
No doubt. Yeah.
The one thing I will give Bernie is he's an unabashed socialist, but he tells you he is straight up.
Yeah.
Unlike all the other liberals that are running for various offers, he's just like, oh no, here's my agenda, and this is exactly what I think.
Right.
Now, this is going to surprise a lot of people. And I'm not going to go too deep into this because we might talk about this next week, maybe. If the election was held today, my choice would probably going to surprise a lot of people. It's not going to surprise closers because we talk about it all the time. I'm a big believer in about 99.8%. I'm a Tulsi Gabbard fan. If I had to vote today, I'm probably voting for Tulsi Gabbard. And I know that might piss some people off and be like, what? She's a Democrat. If you know her, if you follow her, if you pay attention to anything, she is the most conservative Democrat since probably Kennedy. Let's be honest. I enjoy Tulsi Gabbard. People say, oh, she's anti-two-way. No, she's not anti-two-way. You have to understand where she's coming from, what she's had to do, what you have to say in certain places to get elected, versus you can look at her voting records and all of this, and that really kind of shows you she's not anti-2A. She might be for like a magazine ban in Hawaii when she was a Congress, but she's not anti-2A. Also, I don't think that no matter what, she'll get anything passed as far as two-way stuff goes, even if she was. But the other stuff outside, and I'm not a single issue voter. I want to put that very, very, very clearly. I am a huge fan of Tulsi Gabbard because I think that she is going to not only shake up, but she's going to change the Democratic Party for the better. I believe she's going to bring them back to moderate, not away from socialism.
So here's the thing: you hear a lot of people, and especially on the right side, well, on either side, the extreme edges that we always
snap.
talk about.
If Trump comes back real quick, I'm gonna let you. If Trump comes back, but he's not part of the Republican Party, he goes third party. Could you see a Trump Gabbard ticket?
I never considered that.
I never thought about that.
Like, ooh,
that could be amazing.
Trump makes me cringe, though.
He does. But a Trump Gabbard, both basically rebels to their own parties.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be really interesting.
That could be fun. It could be fun for sure.
I would love to watch those debates.
Oh, my God, yeah.
With we talk about the 80 in the middle and the 10 on either side or whatever, and so we hear it a lot of times, especially in the gun community. You'll hear it when people talk about virtue signaling. Oh, they're just virtue signaling, right?
Yep.
So here's the thing: you either don't like virtue signaling, or you understand when people opt to not virtue signal. And so in certain situations, and let me give you an example. I don't know this is the case with Tulsi. I wasn't there. I wasn't in the room. I don't know what went on.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm just throwing a plausible scenario out there. Let's say you have a moderate Democrat. This bill, which is anti-2A, it is anti-gun, is going to pass by 30, 40, 50 votes. It's going to pass.
Mm-hmm.
Your no vote, your nay, at that point is a virtue signal. There's nothing else. And it's a virtue signal that can kill you politically.
Yes, it can.
So if you're looking at it from the right angle, a lot of people say we hate virtue signaling. Well, then you wouldn't want that person in that situation to do that in virtue signal, correct?
Yeah, if you look at Tulsi, and I started listening to Tulsi Gabbard several years ago. She makes a lot of sense to me in a lot of ways. Big fan of hers. What's that?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, so obviously I went and started looking at not only what her platforms are, but I went when she was a congresswoman from Hawaii. I went and kind of started looking at some of her voting patterns. She is not well liked by a lot of Democrats on her voting patterns because she does not vote down party lines a lot. She will not co-sponsor bills that just because she wants to get her name on there. She doesn't do that. There was an assault weapons ban that she refused to put her name on. So that tells me right there, maybe it was because what was in that bill. It might have been something else, but there are certain things that politicians have to say and do in certain states to get elected that doesn't necessarily reflect their true beliefs and true feelings. We all know that if you're a Democrat, especially, and you are in the presidential primary run and you go to the Iowa caucus, you will sell your soul to ethanol while in Iowa, or you will not make it out of Iowa. Yep. Whether or not you believe in ethanol or not, you will take the ethanol pledge in Iowa. Does that mean you're an ethanol fan, or does that mean you got to say and do stuff to get elected? That's pure and simple. I hate to break it down to you, but that's part of the sausage of politics. Yeah. So,
and I don't think
she's a Democrat, but she is like I said, she's as conservative. She's as close, because we all say this, and you and I have talked about this.
Well, the left has moved so far left. Is the problem? Moved
so far left that Kennedy would have been a Republican today. She's a Kennedy Democrat, if people know what that means. So yeah.
The issue that with wargaming this, and the Trump Gabbard's interesting. Somebody says DeSantis Gabbard out there.
She's not going to go on the Republican
ticket. She's not switching parties. Period. She won't switch to a third party.
She wants to run the Democratic and change it.
She wants to change.
I love that.
She wants to bring the party back. Is what she wants to do. She truly wants to do that.
And you and I have talked about that Gabbard Buttigieg. I'm a big fan in a lot of ways, not every way, but I'm not a fan of everything the Republicans have on the table either. But I'm a big fan of a lot of what Buttigieg is. And you and I have talked about this, whether or not it is going to be hard. It will never happen because they won't get elected. But if you're the Democratic Party, if you're the DNC, Gabbard and or Buttigieg need to be the future of the party, at least maybe, if nothing else, shaping the platforms, shaping the party, bringing them back to the middle.
More serious issues. Yeah.
Or serious issues. Those two are the best minds in the Democratic Party. And if they are not involved somehow, some way in policy shaping for the party in the next couple of years, the Democratic Party is done for. I'm going to say it that much.
I think so. Yeah.
So, yeah. And I'm not a Democrat. I'm not necessarily a Republican. I tend to lean a lot more towards conservative stuff, but I'm a moderate. I mean, I'm fiscally and constitutionally very conservative Republican. I'm not a Republican. I'm very conservative when it comes to fiscal and constitutional matters. When it comes to social issues, pretty liberal.
Could care less.
What two people do in their personal lives does not mean a damn thing to me. I just want people to be happy. You know, so I don't
you
care.
do your thing and leave me alone. That's
leave me alone. Absolutely.
Sit on it, you know. It's like I don't care. Yeah. No,
I'm pretty well the same way. I don't like having a label.
And honestly, I think most people are like that. I think most people, 80% in the middle are in the middle for a reason, because they're conservative in some parts of their life and they're more liberal in some other parts of their lives. That's what America is a moderate, you know.
Wes out there, he says, but they rejected Tulsi the last time. She wasn't going anywhere on the Dem side. Well, here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Is that if the Dems, I think if the DNC sees an opportunity that where they think that there's going to be a red wave, and they're basically feeding somebody to the wolves or throwing somebody under the bus, they will choose Tulsi to do that, not understanding that Tulsi is much more popular than they think.
And so Tulsi would like that.
It will backfire on them.
Yeah, if you get the bombshell that like Trump's running again or something like that, that's what they'll try to do.
Yeah, that's the pathway I see for
Tulsi. A 3-hour conversation about this same thing. I want to see the Tulsi-Trump debate. It would be she's not scared of him. She'll go toe to toe. And honestly, there ain't a whole hell of a lot that Trump can argue with Tulsi with. Honestly,
he had one of the easiest opponents in Hillary that he could possibly.
Oh yeah, and they're insane for talking about dusting her off again.
Oh, if they do that, that
is just to keep her hardened base. I think
that's all that is. That's exactly what it is. That is to keep the insane far left in their wheelhouse. That's all that is.
Yeah. Now let's also, Wes, keep in mind. You said that the Dems, rejected her. Understand what happened. Okay, last time, and Trump brought the Republicans closer to the middle. Okay. Yeah. Trump is not a Republican. Trump's a moderate conservative. Okay.
Brings. I don't even know that he's a conservative, but he's definitely.
He's a moderate conservative. I mean, he's
a moderate fiscal conservative. Exactly what it is.
That's right. So he brings the Republican Party to the middle. So what does the Democratic Party have to do? They have to get so far away from Trump that they had to go ape shit socialism, like nuclear socialism. Tulsi's not that. So they rejected her because she was too much like Trump that she probably wouldn't have won that. But in their minds, they had to go so far away to get away from Trump and the Republican Party. They literally had to go nuclear socialist. That's why they rejected her, because she didn't fit the platform that the party was forced to go to because of Trump. That's my opinion.
It's going to be interesting this year to see what happens. They've obviously set in the wheels in motion with the Supreme Court leak, right, to make that their platform issue right now, and that's their Hail Mary pass at this point.
That's the hill they'll die on.
Everything else is a dumpster fire, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to work. Right? I don't think abortion is high enough on the list from people that can't afford milk and eggs and gas and everything else. I just don't think it is.
No.
Right?
So
when there is a Republican takeover of Congress, then
that is happening in November.
I think the wheels start turning for 2024 at that point. They realize we've screwed up. We've got to figure out how to bring this back.
Yep. In January of 2023, whatever they plan to do with Biden, and there's a lot of rumors of what Biden's future is, whether they're going to, I'll put it to you this way. If there is a backdoor conversation in the Democratic Party about Biden not getting the ticket in 2024, or hell, even being replaced in the White House before his term is up, it will happen in January of 2023. Two reasons. One, the red wave just happened and now they're elected. And two, on January 21st of 2023, he can be removed from office or resign or whatever, and Kamala Harris does not have to lose a term by serving out the rest of it because it's less than 2 years. So if there is a backdoor, backroom conversation about, and this is the conspiracy theory, you'll see it happen in January of 2023 for sure.
I've had that conversation too, and like they're stringing along Dementia Day in as long as they can to work to that end, just to keep Kamala in their back pocket as if we have to, we can use her again.
That's right. But I think that the Democratic Party is starting to understand what we all understood. Harris was a terrible choice.
Oh yeah,
a terrible choice.
Oh, they hate each other. Like they don't even hide it.
Exactly.
I think they've got another issue because I think if Biden runs in 24, he's primaried. There's no doubt.
Sure.
When you're sitting president and you're primaried, that shows extreme weakness, right?
That's what I'm saying. Is if there's going to be something done, he won't even make it he won't be in office when it comes filing time for the primary. That's what I'm saying. If anything's going to happen, it's going to happen early in 2023.
Yeah, because if he's
I'm the same way. It'll be early 23.
If he's primaried, the Democrats do not win, period.
Nope.
Regardless
no chance
of if he goes on or regardless if somebody beats him in the primary, because of that weakness, the Democrats are done in 24, and I think they understand that. So their game play is going to be before. I agree with you.
Well, I think they understand that Kamala is, useless as well. And what you'll see is Joe will probably respectfully bow out. He'll have a health problem or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. He'll have a health problem. He'll have something
lamb.
pop up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, we all know he suffered from obvious dementia or Alzheimer's symptoms. It's not hard. Now you've got congressmen calling him out on top of reporters calling him out. It's a matter of time. But like we were saying earlier, they're going to string him along until they have that ace in their back pocket.
My pick is Tulsi right now. We'll see. And Tim was saying I lost him at Buttigieg. Now, understand what I was saying, Tim. I'm not saying I want Buttigieg as on a ticket. I think Buttigieg's mind is a great mind for. I think he needs to be in some sort of a policy shaper for the DNC. Buttigieg will never be elected, ever.
Yeah, not on a national level. I don't think.
Not on a national level for sure. The Ministry of Truth will be watching us soon. I'm sure. Yes,
absolutely. Already are.
Oh, I'm on that list. Don't worry.
We don't send Biden way too much.
Yeah, and then we said Harris.
Oh yeah, it's over.
It's over.
Yeah.
And you said Kamala, not Kamala. So.
Yeah, Kamala, and I've said Tulsi Gabbard's names quite a few times. That probably doesn't make him happy either.
Right. Yeah.
She's not
plus we've all said Trump.
Well, that's true. But here's the thing: if you're not well liked by your party, I tend to think that's a good thing because it means you're not going along with the party lines. You actually have a fucking mind of your own, and I like that. And I tell you what, and I'm not telling anyone to go vote for. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to persuade. I'm saying this. If you have an open mind, do me a favor and just go follow her on Instagram. And she puts some amazing content, and it's just everyday little thoughts and tidbits. Great follow on Instagram. She's not trying to play. She's just saying, here's my thing. And she spends 90% of her time calling out the Democratic Party on their bullshit. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Yeah. Just saying. Give her a chance. Anyways, yeah. So, besides me getting a stormtrooper regard, what else are you going to make happen for me there, Chase? I'm just kidding.
Since we're putting in orders, I want a stormtrooper goose.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, that would be cool. I've had that conversation.
I thought you already were talking about you wore the gold-plated 10mm 1911.
Well, it's after that.
Yeah.
After that.
Oh, okay.
I can tell you, I might shoot you some sneak peeks later this week, but I can tell you the gold high power's coming.
Really? Oh, geez.
Oh, dude, I want one so bad.
Nice.
I've already found like the most perfect narco grips you've ever seen for one. Oh, it's happening.
Nice. I think White Rhino needs that.
White Rhino might need that.
White Rhino needs a gold regard. Actually, he needs a white gold regard.
He needs that. That's what I'm saying. A platinum regard for White Rhino. We got to make that shit happen. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Anyways.
I'm going to have so much fun with that.
Oh, we're going to have a blast. People just don't know, but they will soon. Yeah. All right. It was awesome, Chase. Thanks for coming on, hanging out with us, bud. Clover, I know you don't do anything. If you were to do something, can we look forward to anything happening with you guys?
Maybe. Yeah, possibly. If I were to do anything, I would probably play around with a revolver. I would probably play around with a really tactical revolver from Umarex. And I would probably make a video and upload it about 3 or 4 hours ago and encourage people to go over there and watch it in droves right now.
It is a pretty cool Umarex revolver. I'm not going to lie. How much CO2 and BBs have you gone through so far?
I don't even know, bro. I don't even know. I'm looking at, I'll tell you this much. This weekend, I will probably be buying the 40 pack of CO2 at the Walmart. Probably.
You're having that much fun, huh?
So, yeah, I've got some comments. One of the issues that kind of has, spoiler alert, I didn't really talk about it in the video, though, is that depending on the BBs you're using, getting them to stay in the little rotary magazines can be a little bit difficult, right? They're a little bit too smooth and they don't really pop in there well. So you got to be careful. You can't really, depending on the BBs again, you can't really load the magazines and just throw those in your pocket or something, right? All the movement, everything. You'll have a pocket full of BBs and nothing in the magazines. So I'm kind of thinking about some cardboard and duct tape and making some mag pouches. Maybe for those or something.
Freaking Obi Fudd Kenobi.
Right. That way the BBs don't fall out. You can carry your little mags around for it. But yeah, I've got that. Looking forward, obviously, to 10RA here in like a couple of weeks. That should be a lot of fun.
So am I.
It would be a lot of fun if someone would if someone was able to go. It would be a great time.
I wish I had the technology to clone you and then, be like Multiplicity or something. You could just clone yourself and leave that version at work and go to NRA.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
When you're hanging out in the booth, we could do a special live stream just for him.
Yeah.
I think you guys should do that. That would be wonderful. Thank you so much. I would say live stream at dinner, but that might not be a good idea.
Yeah, that would have to be on an unedited, nobody cares channel.
We're gonna have to make up for it. We're gonna have to make up for it at Shot and do another dinner.
There's no doubt. Yeah,
but yeah, I wish I could.
Always off to go golf.
Yeah, wish I could go to NRA because I really want to be there for this thing. But yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Clover. By the way, Clover is gonna be doing a booth appearance at the what day and what time yet. Go check if you're going to be in Houston at the NRA. Go check out Clover EAA. And that'd be kind of cool if y'all did live stream. That's just so I can feel like I'm part of it. That'd be kind of cool. I appreciate you guys.
They go live for a little bit.
Yeah, we can make that happen.
Yeah. Now G23 I thought you got fired. Well, That's fair. I very well still could if things don't go well at what our project is.
He may have set himself on fire a little bit, but he hasn't got fired yet.
Not yet. Some of my leg hair have been singed.
I imagine so. We're freaking 4-burner propane torch on the freaking golf greens. Come on, man.
Yeah, Jacob says, Ghost, quick question about what you're doing burning stuff on Instagram. Yeah, it's the golf course. I'm a golf pro. And for people that don't realize, I'm a golf pro, run a golf course, and we are burning our greens. We're trying something out that, to our knowledge, not saying we are, to our knowledge, we're the first golf course ever to do this. We're rejuvenating the greens by burning them. And yes, that's a very big, risky move, because if we don't do it right, we just lost our greens on the golf course. So, but so far, so good. But that's what we're burning. We're burning our greens. Tim says someday we can hang out, maybe. I mean, shit, Tim. We used to hang out quite a bit. So, yes. If we do,
I'm guessing no.
I don't know. I'm assuming he doesn't sound like he's making NRA. Maybe he's going to make Shot again, and we'll definitely go out to dinner at Shot or something. But we'll see. I mean, we got to hang out sometime.
Wes says he can come do his lawn next. I'm thinking about doing that. Screw mowing the yard. I'm just going to borrow your propane thing, and I'm just every year when the grass starts to grow, I'm just going to burn the crap out of it.
Unfortunately, it comes back in about a month or 6 weeks, even better than before. So,
yeah, well, that sucks. Don't want to do that. Yeah. Not if you burn it deep enough, though. We can set the propane.
Well, this is true.
Way higher, right?
So here's the thing. So, yes, we're burning the leaf and the thatch layer. Yeah. We're not going after the roots. If you burn the roots, then yeah, it ain't coming back. So you can scorch, you could napalm it. That would be kind of cool. Napalm in our fucking greens. That would be interesting.
Right.
I love the smell of napalm in the golf course, you know.
Right. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Bonehead saying the gun community loves the NFA because no one's pushing the issue about repealing the NFA. Pards, we've been howling at that moon for decades.
I agree with him in a way.
So many years.
I mean, I don't agree that the gun community loves the NFA. I just
you don't see them pushing anymore. Yeah.
There's just not really a legitimate plan of attack or fight against it.
No.
So
no. The ASA had the best chance of doing anything, and nobody got behind them.
Right.
That's right. Yep. So
I mean,
it's
for all the Trump loves gun owners had the best chance in the world to do something about anything, and you see where that got us.
Well, you've got the bump stock thing still coming up. I'm sure we will have
a brace thing eventually.
I'm sure we will have court repercussions over not only the receiver thing but the brace thing, depending on what happens there.
Oh yeah, they've already lawyered up.
And that might give us all three of those things. Give us ways to attack the NFA in the court.
So
all three of those.
So, and it's not necessarily NFA in a way, but the more, if Florida becomes number 26 for constitutional carry, then we already have the landmass, over half the landmass of the country, but that'll give us more than half of the states is a number that have constitutional carry. There are ways to, like you said, you've got the bump stock thing, you've got probably the receiver thing, you've got probably the brace thing, plus a lot of other things, but once there becomes the majority of the states are behind constitutional carry, that helps saying, look what's happening at the state level. It's moving towards this, not away from this.
Yeah.
And so every little bit helps. And people don't think that constitutional carry can really help a lot of things. The perception of over half the country states are constitutional carry means a great deal.
Right.
Means a great deal.
And as we have more and more states passing their, we're going to ignore the NFA within the state.
And there's a lot of them doing it. I mean, Arkansas, there's a lot of them have done that, even though it may not be legal, but
Yeah, well, I mean, the Kansas one
might not make constitutional muster, but it's the sign, it's the message.
Well, once you can get enough connecting states to do that,
yes,
right, you got to realize the NFA, all of that kind of revolves around the Commerce Clause. Well, if you can start getting connecting states all over the place and a big swath of the country all connected that all have that, at that point you can
the commerce deal. The commerce deal is harder to hold up. Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's how they go after it. That's how they enforce its interstate commerce clause.
Yep.
Which is, I mean, because think about it, people who own any NFA item, with the exception of suppressors, you have to get permission from Uncle Sam to go across state lines.
Well, I don't have to get permission, but you have to notify. I mean, technically, it's
permission. But it's not permission. But you have to notify them. But
you got to jump through a hoop for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's you have to go. If it pleases the crown, I would like to take my lawful tax regulated item
heavily
to the neighboring state.
Yeah, it's not. I've done it. It's not difficult, but it's stupid to have to do that.
Yeah. All right. Shit. 2 hours on the dot. We're going to get out of here. Thanks everyone for watching live. If you are watching this in replay or listening to it in podcast form, God bless you. That's 2 hours you're never getting back. But we appreciate you. For all of those that are out there still live with us, thank you. I had a great conversation. Like I said, tonight I wanted to just have some fun. We went down a lot of different rabbit holes, but it was a fun conversation. Hope everybody enjoyed it. If not, I'm sorry. It is what it is. Hit that unsubscribe button. Appreciate it. Other than that, thanks for Chase for coming on. Go check out EAA. Their website is in the chat and all their EAAcorp.com. Go check all their awesome stuff out over there. Their fun, gun loving, freedom kind of stuff over there. It's pretty awesome. Thanks for Clover as always being here. Either one of you have any parting words that we need to get out before we get out of here?
Be excellent to each other and party on, dude.
Party on, Wayne. Party on, Garth. Sounds great. Thanks for everyone. Good seeing Tim out there. Good seeing everybody, but especially Tim. I haven't seen you in a while.
And all the new folks that I have.
All the new folks. Yeah, a lot of new folks tonight.
I had some in the lawn chair pop last night. Some new faces and stuff. It's awesome to see that.
Yeah, it is, and hopefully we didn't disappoint. Probably did, but hopefully
I'm sure we did. I'm sure we did.
Maybe we'll see them back, but maybe not. But thanks for everyone out there. We will see you soon. Get out there, shoot your guns, be more proficient. We'll see you next time. Semper Fi.